this set up. This is better, but I need to give me one moment. For anybody that's watching in the later, like rewatching the live. Let me get this set up a little bit. My keyboard's in the way. There we go. That's better. I like that better. Oh yeah. Still got a lot of light coming from that side. All right, so hello. My name is ModifiedRabbit. Hello, Bandit. And this is another live palette review. Today we're doing the Hit the Lights palette from Morphe. We're gonna turn this down just a little bit so you can see a little better. All right, because I kind of like. So, anybody that's new to these, my lives for these palette reviews are, there's no filters, as you can see. There's like plenty of acne on my face. I've been breaking out this week, and all that stuff. So it's just me. It's raw, and you get to see the colors and get my makeup wipes and whatnot. You get to see all the colors the best I can show them to you and all that good stuff. So I got my ring light and everything. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. So I wanted to note that this palette, I absolutely love the casing. It doesn't show quite as well in video as it does in person, but you know, like how shiny this part is, these little dots are just as shiny, and it's so gorgeous. And I don't want to, I usually throw the boxes away for these, but like I don't want to throw this one away, you know, like it's so pretty. But I just really wanted to note that I really love that box for that. And this is a very large palette, by the way. This is a very large palette. So the palette itself, the casing is very shiny, very pretty. Definitely the Hit the Lights theme is definitely I said that's a pretty good name for the palette. So all right, so let me get this plastic out of the way. Now, as with most of my palettes, I swatched it all by my lonesome. I didn't do a live or nothing when I first swatched it, just because I was so excited as soon as it came in, because it came in like Monday. Because you guys remember last live, I was like, oh, I really was hoping that the Hit the Lights palette would come in so I could do it this time, you know, but it came in Monday, and I just couldn't wait the whole entire week to just, you know, look at the colors. But anyway, this is the palette. So we've got some shimmery type colors in here. We've got actual glitter colors, and we've got some foils and mattes. There's definitely a lot of foils. There's plenty of mattes though too. And then I heard that these center ones are good like toppers, or you could probably use them as highlighters if they are toppers, because those are usually pretty light. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started with the swatching. And so we'll do the mattes first, because I haven't even put on any primer on my eyes, but we'll do that later, because we'll do one eye like usual with primer and one eye without primer. So I guess we will start with the mattes, because, you know, I want to get those out of the way, because I'm not as interested in the mattes, you know, in most of my palettes anymore. So I used to be, I loved mattes, and I didn't actually really like shimmery colors or nothing a couple years back, but I am really enjoying shimmers and foils and whatnot the past year or so. Okay, so we're going to start with these reds up top here. So I like that they have a really nice range of reds. I really love reds, so we'll see how those look. We've got Daring, Hot Stuff, and Serve Looks. So we're going to go, and this is Daring. That's a pretty decent red. I think it's showing up kind of orange for you guys. It definitely is. It's got a slight orange tint to it, but y'all, it's not it's not as orange as it looks in the video. I really need to probably mess with my saturation. And we've got Hot Stuff. Yeah, these definitely look orange in the video. I have no clue what is up with my camera, but we've got Serve Looks. They kind of look like Cheetos. And then that's a darker red right there. I don't know if you guys are seeing them as reds or not, or if that's just me, because it could just be my computer screen being weird too, because everybody's computer screen is, you know, kind of set different or whatever for colors. So let me wipe these off my hangers so we can grab a couple more. I actually don't see any orange shades in this palette, so alrighty. Let's see, what do we got next? For real, My Type and Hook, which these are some brown shades. So they've got a really wide range of shades in this palette, so that's like a really good thing. Ooh, one of these is going to be very skin tone for me, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. So we got For Real. We've got My Type. That one's the one that's kind of, you know, almost skin tone-ish for me, almost. Not quite, but. And then we've got Hook Up. Oh, look, you can see them a little bit. I think it might be the light that's causing the red to kind of not show up as red. So let me turn the light off for now on this. It'll help show up better on the swatches for you guys. And then Hook Up. And then we'll do the light just for when I'm doing my look on my eyes, because I need the light to see. So so yeah, they're so far so good. These colors are not super streaky. This darkest, the dark red, like the Serve Looks, and then this Hook Up shade get a little tiny bit streaky so far, but not too bad. They're actually pretty pretty solid when swatching them, so that's pretty good. I like that. Get these all off here. We don't want them interfering with any of the other swatches. My dog is like running around underneath here. He's all about it. So I was just exploring everywhere. What are you doing? Getting into things. Alrighty, let's see. What do we got next for these? We got one matte down here, which is Makeout Sesh. We don't have a whole bunch of mattes left, so we've got Makeout Sesh. What's this blue? Ghosted, I think. No, it's Don't Stop. That's what it is. Ghosted is a different one. I'm trying to look at the little. It doesn't have the names on the palette. It's got it on this sheet right here, like the clear sheet that goes over it. So we got Don't Stop and then Reckless. So we've got a brown, a blue, and a pink. Okay, so we've got the Makeout Sesh right here. Very nice. It's a very solid color. Ooh, there we go. That'd be a lot of fallout right there. And we've got Don't Stop. This one's a little bit streaky and light. Not too horrible though. And then Reckless. And it's a little bit of fallout on that. That's not too bad. That's not streaky like the blue one, but the blue one's a little bit streaky, if you can kind of see that a little bit. All right, let's get this wiped off of my fingers. So far so good. We got a little bit of the streaky on that blue, and you know, the blue and the pink so far. There's a little bit of fallout to be expected on those two. But other than that, so far, that's pretty good. And that's not too bad. So, all right, we've got Go All Night, which is another red. It looks kind of like actually, it's a reddish orange. It's like a burnt orange. And then we've got No Regrets. And then we've got, is it Out Late? I don't know why they named this green shade Out Late. A little bit of fallout on that one. It's these neon colors that, you know, got a little bit of fallout. So we got Go All Night. Ooh, that's very good. It's a very nice solid color right there. We've got No Regrets. Pretty good too. It's like a very dark magenta shade. And then we've got this Outlight. I'm going to start going up here on the side of my arm. Ooh. It's very, very light color. That's not too bad though. It's just very light, so it's very hard to see on me. All them light colors are very hard to see on me, so. All right, and we've got 2 mattes left. Blow away all that fallout off of the pan. Okay, so we've got a yellow and a black. So we've got 2 a.m. and until dawn. Again, I'm not sure what the name for 2 a.m. is that for a yellow, but it's till dawn. Looks pretty dark though. And with, as usual, with the neon colors, you got a little bit of fallout going on there. All right, we've got this 2 a.m. a little neon yellow. Did you guys see that puff of a little going up there? A lot of fallout type thing going on with this shade. But otherwise, it's pretty good. It shows up pretty solid. And then we've got this Till Dawn, which again, you guys know I am pretty picky with blacks. So, ooh, that is pretty dark. Look at that. That's pretty good. I like that. I might use that when we do the eye look. I'm not sure. I can't decide what I want to really do for an eye look for this, so I might go with like a very like a red and black look, I'm thinking. All right, so those are the last of the mattes. Sorry, my brain just kind of shut off right there. I get distracted. I have ADD, you guys. I get extremely, very distracted. My brain will just kind of like go off on its own, and it's funny. Very annoying sometimes, but it's all right. I work with it. All right, so those are all the mattes. I think they're pretty good. I don't see too many issues at all, really. I mean, the neon colors seem to have a little bit of fallout going, but it's not too bad. And they still show up bright. The only one that doesn't show up this great is that blue. So, but it's still pretty good. And I think it'll only take like 2 layers to really get it going in there. So that's not too horrible. All right. Honestly, we'll probably go with, we're just going to go down the rest of the way, and we'll skip the middle pans and save those for last. But we're just going to, for the rest of these, even with the glitters, we're just going to keep going down the rows this way. So, because I was like, should I do the glitter separate from the foils? But then I was like, nah, because it's kind of hard to tell on some of these if they're glitter or foil, or like a shimmer color. So we'll just do the rest of them like that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vibing is this first one. And then we've got one of the glitter pans, which is Flirt Alert. And it is a gold, very pretty gold glitter. And then we've got Attention Please. Where's this Code Red color? See, these are really weird. Like they're very, they've got, see this thing right here? This is different for me. So I'll show you guys this. It's kind of, I guess it's a good part of the review. See the names in each square? They've got these squared off. Obviously the center is all those big pans, but they've got these squared off, and in the middle of each square, there's a name. And I guess that's just the theme of each of those squares. So we've got Code Red, which does have all those reds and whatnot, little warm shimmers and everything. Smoke Show. I could see that being a smoke show. Holographic. Yeah. And then After Party. I definitely see that because of the neons and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. So, okay. Anyway, the next color is the Attention Please. So that's Alrighty. So we've got the vibing. See if you guys can see that well at all. It's a white foil, so got a little bit of the dark shades in my arm a little bit. Couldn't get it wiped off. All right, and then we've got this gold glitter right here, which is the Flirt Alert. Very pretty. And it's a really solid glitter too, so it's not patchy. So I'm pretty happy with that. I like that it's not a patchy, glitter. And then we've got this Attention Please shade. It's a little light, honestly. Yeah, it's a little faded looking. So that one doesn't show up as well as I would hope for a foil shade. All right, let's go with the next one. So Sassy, Extra Attitude, and Work the Room. It's spelled work with an E. I know that's part of the gimmick, but this So Sassy one I'm definitely wanting to show. I like reds, so. All right, so we got the So Sassy. Very pretty color. Like, oh, that is so solid too. That's a beautiful color. I'm probably going to use that one. Extra Attitude. This is another gold shade, but it is a foil and not... Oh, yes. These foils are awesome. They're very buttery and smooth. This isn't a glitter, so... And then we've got Work the Room. Very pretty color. These are all gorgeous. So far, the only one that I'm having any sort of issue with is that little, that first one that we got, which is the Attention Please, which is this one right here. It didn't want to show up as well as the rest. So, but it's still very pretty color. I think maybe like 2 layers would probably do it on those. The rest of them, though, you definitely easily get your shade with the 1 layer. They're very, very pretty shades, and they came out really, really well. Okay, we're gonna wipe these off and keep going. Sorry, itchy face. my little guy's over here sleeping. He's being sleepy. Little puppy. All right. Alrighty, let's see. What do we got next? Hot Date, Love Bomb, and Obsessive, which is the black, like shimmery color instead of a foil. They actually have a shimmer in here. Okay, so these first 2 are silvers. So we've got a silver foil and then a silver glitter. And then the last one is a black shimmer. And we'll see how good it shimmers, because I'm picky with them shimmers. They need to actually not only have like the matte base, but an actual layer of glitter in there instead of just barely any on the top. So, all right, we've got Hot Date. That is very light on me, you guys, so I'll try and get that in the darker section so you can see it a little better. Very pretty. So it's kind of like in the pan, it does look more silver, but it does have that silver tint to it. It's just, it does look a little white. But it transferred really well from my finger over to my wrist. So, and then we've got this Love Bomb, which is the glitter. Again, very light on me, but very beautiful glitters. I love these glitter pans. I would go for, so far from what I've experienced with Morphe stuff, their glitter pans are absolutely amazing. And I would go for a full-on, like, huge palette like this, just full of glitters. That's it. Like glitter pans just like these, like I want them. Oh no, look at this. Oh no, you guys see that? That is that foil right there, not the glitter, but the hot date foil. Oh, that is really nasty fallout right there. So you want to make sure you buff that out. Ooh, I'm glad that showed up like that. That is not nice. I don't like that. Okay, I buffed it out. It kind of takes away from the shiny shine a little bit, but it does look like it'll be something that kind of goes into your crease, kind of meh. All right, we're gonna see this shimmer, this obsessive color. So it is very dark black. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. We see in person. It's all right. It's a nice dark shade. It's got a good, decent matte base. I think I'd probably go with a second layer. The shimmer's not horrible though. Let me see if I can. What happens if I? Yeah, the shimmer's not horrible though. So I think it does all right. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is definitely not bad. So it's very pretty. So it's pretty decent. I'm not mad at it. I'm more mad at that other one just falling out like that. Like that was weird. I did not like that. For shame. All right. This is a large palette though. One or two colors not acting well is not going to make me mad about it. Got fallout from those neons all over my shorts. Alrighty, let's go down to, we're going past the center row now because we're going to save those for last because those are definitely different from the rest of these. We've got Euphoric, Feeling It, and Give In. That sounds weird, like give in. Like all three of those together kind of like to me tell like a really weird story of someone taking like some sort of drug at a party or something, and they're kind of like, yeah, vibing, and then someone's like vibing with them and getting all whatever on them, and they're like kind of feeling it, and then they just give into it, and I'm just like, I don't know, that could be bad or good, I don't know. Okay, anyways, so we've got Euphoric, which is kind of, it's like, kind of looks a little hollow looking, you know. It's very light shade though, so you guys might not be able to see it on me. It's very light. It's like a very soft pink. Now you've got a much darker pink with this feel in it, and these are foils. Very pretty. This one, this is not showing up as well as a foil. It's not a shimmer though, so it's just not a very good foil. And then we've got Give In, which is kind of like a nice blush color, pink. So it's very soft. Again, matching my skin tone right there. So that one's definitely very pretty. We've got my arm hair that's like wanting to get all in the way. So that's those so far. Very, very pretty colors. Can you go like this so you can see in the dark section? All right, we're gonna wipe these off, and then we're gonna go on to the next little section. We'll be able to do the rest in this next go, and then we'll wipe down again, and then finish off with the middle pans, the big old middle pans. Dry off right there. Alrighty. So these next ones we got So Wild, Ghosted, which I think it looks like a shimmer pan, but I'm not sure. I'll have to wait to see how it feels and how it reacts. But and then we've got Rhythm, Live It Up, Chaos, and then Insomniac. So we're gonna go with this one. This So Wild looks like a bronze. And then we've got this Ghosted, which is just a straight up white. It feels like this feels like a foil, kind of. And then we've got Rhythm. which is a red. This red, though, it looks very similar to the one up there. They do have in this palette a couple of colors that look very similar to other ones. So I've got So Wild. It's like a nice little bronze. Then we've got Ghosted. Very pretty. Wow, that went like right over my tattoo too. Let's see that. Ooh, very pretty color. It's so much prettier in person than it is on camera, you guys. Just because I don't have the lighting set up right now to, you know, because I can't get my photography lights and stuff all set up in here. I don't have the room or anything. I'll have to wait till I move. So, and then we've got Rhythm, which is this red, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Yeah, so beautiful. I love that. It is a little light though, so it would need, let's try a second swipe over that. Yeah, it definitely needs one or two extra swipes over it for that one, because it does not want to show up as well. All right, let's get into these next colors. We got Live It Up, Chaos, and Insomniac for these last three. Live It Up, Chaos, and Insomniac. All right, we got Live It Up. Very pretty, a very light gold. It's like a very yellow gold. Very pretty. Chaos. It's a nice brown shade. Nice little brown foil. It does have some, looks kind of like green-ish reflex in that one. And then we've got this Insomniac. Wait till that focuses a little. That's a little bit of a light shade for me, so we'll have to, there we go, so you guys can see it. More like a, kind of like a rose-ish gold, not really, I don't know. Kind of hard to tell, but it's got some yellow and green reflex in there too, so. Very pretty shades. I'm loving that white shade, it's very pretty. All right, so we've got all the foils and glitter shades and shimmers all done. So they got the one shimmer, two glitters, and then the rest of those are foils, from what I'm seeing anyways. All right, I'm gonna get one more of these out. Make sure I put my arm down real good, because these other shades coming up in the middle, if they are actually toppers, then I'm definitely going to want to make sure my arm's very, very clean. Alrighty, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades in here. Most of them look to be a bit on like the kind of neutral side. They're kind of browns or whatever. And we've got maybe a slight reddish tint and a white one at the end. But we've got Beam, Magic Hour, Glow Show, Glitz On, Gleam Big. Oh, okay. Strobin and Halo Effect. All right, so we're gonna get Beam, Magic Hour, and Glow Show first. All right. We've got Beam. Oof. Beam. Magic Hour. And then Glow Show. Okay, these don't quite look like toppers, honestly. I mean, maybe the Magic Hour one in the middle, but these other two are pretty solid. They just look like large pans of foils, which honestly look very similar to other shades in the palette. So I don't know if they just thought, oh well, we're gonna add more of these color because they look. I think they'll be popular color enough for people to use it, plenty and want more. So we're just gonna give them a giant extra pan of it or something like that. But a lot of these colors are very similar in shade, so they're pretty colors. It's just a lot of similar shades. Alrighty, let's go for these next ones. We got a lot of fallout. Definitely a lot of fallout. So you want to buff these out a little bit. Yeah, this one's actually getting kind of patchy because that's kind of like what that silver one did. So you want to buff that out real good. Sorry if my breathing sounds weird, like especially at the end of a sentence, because I've been having breathing issues like for a good while now. It's not COVID. I thought it was at first, but it is not. I got tested and stuff. I just think this house is kind of getting to me. So, okay, so let's go with these next ones. We've got Glitz On, Gleam Big, and Strobin. I'm looking forward to seeing that Strobin color real good because it's kind of a reddish tint. So, and I love reds. Ooh. Okay, so Glitz On. Get your focus camera. Glitz On. Gleam Big. And then Strobin. Okay, these are very soft. So these ones actually might be kind of top row like. That Strobin is, it does not look as red on your skin as it does in the pan. It looks more peaches color. And these are, you know, they're very pretty. They look very shimmery. So they're they do look like toppers. Those ones. It's just these other two right up here just really don't look like toppers to me. They're very solid. All right, we're gonna do this last one, which is Halo Effect, which is a white. This one's a straight up white. This one doesn't have a bunch of like reflect color in it like the other one did. And this one might be a little hard for you guys to see because again, it is very light on my skin. This seems like it has a very, okay, so it does have some reflect in it. It seems like a purple reflect because it does seem like it has like a very extremely soft lilac look to it when you turn it. So that's kind of cool because I do like that. That's very pretty. So, but yeah, these are definitely toppers other than the two. I'm kind of like the first one and the third one kind of don't really seem like toppers to me, but I could, you know, I could see that like, you know, using these as toppers or highlights for sure, which we will use them as, we'll use one of them as a highlight. We'll try and use maybe this halo effect as a highlight when we do a look, which we will get into here in a minute. So, and then we'll do like an overall review of everything. So what I'm probably going to do is start with two mattes and then kind of, I don't know if I want to do mattes and the foil. There's so much in this palette, like to decide what I want to do because I want to try and see how the foils do, you know. So I do want to use a foil. I just don't know. But I also want to try out the mattes too for my eye. So let's, while I'm deciding, we'll go ahead and put on the primer. So, which will also use a Morphe primer. I've come to like the Morphe primer pretty good. I do still love my Concrete Minerals primer because it is really good for foils and stuff. But, you know, since we're also doing matte, we're going to go with the, go ahead and go with this Morphe primer. Get my mirror up here. We're going to do the primer on this side. Pardon me. Feeling like I might want to go out a good way, so we're going to put some out here. I didn't shave my eyebrows for this, you guys. Alrighty. We've got our primer on one eye, just the one eye, so that we can see how these work with and without primer. So let me turn the slide on, and we'll, there we go, turn that up a little. Okay, so let's so mostly so I can see. So we'll later, after we're done with the look, I'll be sure to turn the light down again, just in case, you know, you guys need me to turn it down. Alrighty, so let's see, what will we start with? I think we can start with one of these reds up here. I'm not sure if I want to, though. I can't decide what I want, you guys. Yeah, I do want the two red in here, so. Ooh. Definitely need to make sure to, like, tap off that brush. Alright, we're gonna go without first, without the primer. Very soft. I actually kind of like it. I mean, like, normally I wouldn't, but with reds, especially for alternative looks and stuff, a lot of people do that nice faded out red look, so it looks like, you know, you rubbed your eyes a whole bunch and everything, you know, type thing. So I actually kind of like how faded out it looks for that reason. But we're trying to do a, you know, I want to make sure that plenty of people that don't do alternative looks are probably watching, so we're going to watch. So I want to note that without primer, you're going to get an extremely soft look from the first, you know, go at it. We're going to try and build it up, though, and see what we can do with that. There's a lot of fallout in the pan, though, so you kind of gotta, you're gonna end up with a lot of fallout if you don't tap your brush off and stuff. Okay, so a second coat is pretty decent. We're just gonna do it in this intersection because I'm gonna do something else going out further. We're gonna go one more coat. That's a bit better. I'd say about 3 or 4 coats probably without primer will get you pretty good. Like, it's still not super great, but it's not awful. It still shows up pretty decent. Alright, let's go on the side with primer. Surprisingly, it's not much of a change. I was thinking that, you know, with my past experience with the Morphe palettes, I mean, there's a little bit of a change, but barely anything. It's not really noticeable, unless you just take a real good look for a minute, so. Let's try a couple, we'll do the 3 coats, you know, like we did with the other side, so we got, you know, an even test. 2. Last coat. Okay, so there is a little bit of a difference with the primer side. A little bit, good bit more solid. It does still take, you know, a couple of coats, but once you get those couple coats on, it is more solid. As you can see, like, and we'll turn this down a little bit for you guys. So you can see it is a little more solid on this side with the primer than without the primer. So it does make a difference for that. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? We'll go with this foil right here. Which foil are we going with? I want to try and make sure I stick with these names for you guys. So we just did Daring, and then we're doing So Sassy. Because I want to stick with that red theme, so we're going to tap this off just a little bit. I'm not seeing a lot. Like, this is not really might have to dig into these foils to get them to show up. You do have to tap them off though at the same time because you don't want all that fallout. But okay, it's starting to show up a little bit, but it's not showing the color that, you know, it shows. I mean, you can see it a little bit because you can kind of see that shine, but it kind of looks like it's taking the color of the underneath shade. Like you can slightly see its shade under there, but it's not really wanting to. We've got some fallout going on with it too. Ooh, yeah, I've got got that fallout going on down there. Even after tapping the brush out, we've got a good bit of fallout down here. So, and with foils, like, you should be able to brush them on because they don't stipple on as well as like mattes and stuff. So we'll try without tapping it off and see what we got. So it's a little bit better if you don't tap off the access, but like you're gonna want to do your eye your eye part before you do your foundation because you're gonna get a whole bunch of fallout. So was that the third or the second? We're gonna go one more just to see what we can get here. Okay, so there's not a huge difference in shade. It seems either it just doesn't want to show up for its own shade and just kind of give that shine to it, or it's very similar in shade. So we're going to do this side. Yeah, it just really does not. He's kind of chilling out back there. Okay, we're going to go with a couple more rounds on this. It's definitely showing up a little better on the primer side. So primer definitely makes a huge difference with Morphe palettes. Like I use a lot of concrete minerals. I've mentioned that a lot, but I do use them a lot, and honestly, like, they don't absolutely need primer. You do have to dig into these foils a lot though to get them to show up. So this is the third coat, and it's actually showing its color a little bit on this side. So the primer definitely makes a huge difference. Kind of want to try and at least get them a little similar. Still got that, all that fallout right there. It's just ridiculous. Like you can't tap it off that much because it won't show up very well. But even if you do tap it off, you still got a little bit of fallout right there. Like, and that stuff is like super foils. Like, if they have fallout, that's not great for me because they cause a lot more issues look-wise with that streak or whatever that they like to leave behind. A lot worse than mattes. They're a lot more noticeable. Alrighty. We're going to go with this matte black on the side over here. Let's see how that works out. Definitely tapping this off because I do not want trying to deal with black all over the place. Definitely not as dark when you have to, you know, tap off the access. So it's not as dark of a shade. It'd be good for like a smoke, a nice little smoky eye. I think you'd have to layer it pretty good though to get it to, you know, get that under there a little bit. I have to layer it a little bit to get it to go real dark. Which we are going to do. We're going to put 3 layers like we've been doing with the rest. But we are going to tap it off a little bit because black is the most pain in the butt to be trying to get off everything. Okay, so the second layer definitely is showing up so much better. Kind of giving a nice little faded look because of. And one more. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go with this other side and see how it works with the primer. Okay, so it shows up just slightly, barely noticeable darker with that primer. Guess our 3 coats in, just like the other side. You can definitely see the difference in the long run. One more. So it's a pretty nice black. Get that under there a little better. All right. That's a pretty nice black. I like it. That's pretty good. So we're going to fade this in a little bit this way, just a little. Get that blended in there a little. There. Get that blended in good. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my little diffused crease brush to kind of give this a little less of a solid line going, because I don't really want that for this look. Alright, I'm going to do it up here too for this black. These don't quite buff out as well as I was hoping they would. I might just kind of smooth that out with some like that. Make sure we grab up any possible fallout. Okay, that's not horrible. Did not buff out as well as I was hoping though. All right, we're gonna get a little bit of a like inner corner right there. I'm gonna use a little bit of this vibing shade first. Kind of like get a nice, that is not wanting to go very solid right there. A little bit better with the, again, with the primer side. We'll dig in just a little bit more for over here. Okay. And then we're going to go in with one of these middle shades with the strobing. Give it more of that red tint. Yes. Okay. All right, what I want to do, let me see about grabbing one of these. We're going to go in, we're going to grab a highlighter brush and see how it works with one of these. With a highlighter brush, we're going to do this halo effect over here, this nice white topper. And we're going to see how well it works as a highlighter. We're going to see if it'll even go off onto this highlighting brush. Okay, ooh, yes. Okay, yes. These work beautifully as highlighter. Oh, that's so pretty. It's got that nice purple shimmer to it. It's like nice white with the purple. Almost, I should probably do, you know, like a face primer, but that's all right. To see how it does without. Okay, so it didn't want to really go on this side very well. Come on. So it doesn't want to pick up as well on a highlighting brush, but I'm sure you could just honestly use your fingers. We'll see. I'll use my fingers here in a minute and see how well it works. A little bit better with your fingers. It's not super amazing. But if you just want, you know, a little bit of a subtle pop or whatever, I mean, you could probably build it up, but it'll do for, you know, a nice highlight. So you've got your shadows and can use them as toppers or as highlighters. So you've got a good full palette right here for, you know, a full look pretty much. And you could probably use this black because it's dark enough. I mean, especially if you get some good primer going under there, it's dark enough to where you can use it as, you know, a nice soft liner. So, all right. So this is, you know, with my lighting and stuff, you guys can see. Here, we'll turn it up a little so you can see different lighting, how that looks. And then we'll turn it off so you guys can. Turn it down very soft because if we turn it off, it's a little too dark. So as you can see, like the colors are, they're nice solid colors with and without primer. So we're gonna we're getting into this review section right here. Okay, I'll blow this off before I put this sheet back over here. Okay, so as you can tell, the primer does not really affect it being a nice solid color. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not streaky or whatever, even without primer. But it does seem to affect the shade a little bit. It is a little. You can see it's a little darker. Come on, camera. It is a little bit darker on the side with primer. I think it's more true to the color a little bit. Than the side without. So you can see like that black is definitely showing up a little bit better than, you know, this side for it being black. And then I'm not sure if you guys can see the highlight. Probably not. I think you might be able to see a little bit on this side. It's so soft, you guys. It's a very soft highlight. It's very glittery. I don't know if I can get it to really show up much. But I think the toppers work really great as a highlighter. Very, very beautiful. Like I was saying, one of the major issues I'm having with this palette, it's a very beautiful palette. It does have a couple more issues than the last few palettes that, let me move this here, this ring light, we're gonna move it. And we're gonna, while I talk so I can look better at the camera a little bit. So with most of the Morphe palettes, the foils have been absolutely beautiful. Like they're beautiful. These foils, they're gorgeous. But what I've noticed with a good couple of these foils is for this palette, is they've got fallout, and that's, for me, like, it's fallout is in like, you get it on there and it's just like after a minute is clumps of it will just fall out of there, like fall right off your eye. So you really have to make sure you buff it out real good. So you'll probably want to do multiple layers of the foils. So that's a little, you know, kind of for me. There's only like one problem color, which is that blue. It's streaky. Other than that, like most of the other colors are very solid. The only other problem with the palette is that, little bug trying to hang out in there, turd, is that with these shades here, we'll take this off so you guys can see a little better. You can see there are a lot of very similar shades. This one and this one are extremely similar to each other. A lot of these middle ones you can see are extremely similar to a couple of these small pans and stuff like that. So you do have, they do look like they're slightly different shades, but they're so slight that, you know, you're basically getting more of a same shade type thing. They're very slight that, you know, like most other people that aren't really good with knowing, hey, that is a different shade, you know, whatever, they're not going to notice. Even if you do, they're not going to notice the difference. So I think that is kind of a downfall. It would be cool if they had just more range. But that being said, though, it does have good range. Like, it still has good range, even with repeating colors. Because you can see, like, you know, like I was saying, as you can see, like, you do have all those similar shades, but then especially down here, you've got these neons, and they're very colorful and whatnot. So, and then you've got like a lot of silvers and golds and everything, which are very, very pretty. So, I mean, it's still got range. It honestly, with some of the, you know, repeating looking, you know, shades, they're so close to each other. I think they could have just did it one better and just did different shades, like instead of like full on different shades, instead of doing something so similar to another shade in the palette. So, like, I would have loved to see like a nice candy apple or crimson or ruby red foil, which I am always looking for and can't find the perfect one for me yet. I'm still looking one of these days. So those are kind of the downfalls of the palette. You know, the upsides of the palette, it's still a really good palette. It's not like, it's not horrible. It doesn't, you know, the mattes are actually pretty great and solid. They're not super streaky, other than just the one blue. You know, it's a large palette, and it's got, you know, even if it's got some repeating looking shades, you know, it's still got a good range of colors. So you could use this for everyday wear, at the office, you know, just for fun and cute stuff, anything for party, and or a sultry look. Like, it is a very wide range palette. So it's still really great. I just think they could have done it even better with a wider range instead of doing such similar shades. But again, like, it is still a very wide range palette, and it's beautiful. So I really, really enjoy I think my favorite parts in this are these two glitter pans, like this silver and gold glitter pans right there. I would absolutely adore it if Morphe had a palette like this size, maybe not with, you know, the middle shades being giant, but like this size of a palette, just full of glitter pans, just like these, like that formula of glitter pans, like all different colors. Like, I would pay all the money for that, like, because their glitter pans are just absolutely amazing. Like, most glitter pans that, you know, I've come across in other brands and everything, they don't stay very well. They're very dry, you know, and this is a nice, perfect balance between wet and dry for their glitter pans. So I thought about using a little bit. You know what? I might just go ahead and use a little bit of this silver glitter pan just on my eye, just to kind of you know, do a little bit of extra right there. I don't know how to work with a brush though, so we're gonna find out. Oh wow, it works pretty decent with the brush. So we can spread it out a little with that. And there's hardly any fallout from it. So it sticks to the brush pretty well, and you can still spread it at the same time. So I'm just loving it even more. And we'll try the side with the primer. It's even better. It sticks better. A little harder to spread out with the primer because it wants to stick so well. But very pretty. Ooh, absolutely gorgeous. Yes, these are definitely my favorite part of this palette is those it's those glitter pans right there. So we've got plenty of, you know, the upside. We've got a few downsides in this palette as compared to the other Morphe palettes I've, you know, tried so far and whatnot. Mostly just because of, you know, the foils are a little bit weird for me. But they still work very nice as long as you just keep in mind that you might want to buff them out a little so that they don't fall out everywhere. Because foil fallout is not fun. I mean, fallout in general is not fun, but it's a very common thing that we all have to deal with. But foil fallout is definitely not fun. I am not keen on cleaning up foil fallout. Like, I can usually, with matte fallout, I can usually like dust it off really easily, you know, at least, and hide it pretty well. The foil fallout, I can't take my sweeper brush and dust that off. And if I try, it's just gonna just smudge it everywhere, and it's just no. So I'm pretty happy with this palette. Is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I really I really wish that they had like a really like nice red foil in there. I would have been so happy. Um, I really would adore having a full palette of just their glitter pans, or you know, a palette that size with the top being all glitter pans of all different, you know, colors, maybe like different shades, like a dark and a light glitter of each shade, you know, main shade or whatever, and then like on the bottom row be foils of the same kind of, like, you know, because then you've got nice variety of that. You know, you've still got a dark and a light shade of each of those colors, you know, the red, orange, yellow, green, you know, green, blue, and purple type thing, along with, you know, a silver and a gold. And then, you know, so you've got a foil and a glitter, which would be amazing for, you know, just the extra little fun looks and everything like that. I would absolutely adore a palette like that. So, but yeah, maybe one day. But Morphe has like a really amazing formula for those glitter pans. So I think that is definitely my favorite. That's my favorite part of the palette. I do think that their shimmer color that they had in there is pretty good. I very much enjoy their shimmer colors. They're not horrible, like plenty of other companies I've seen where there's too much matte and barely any glitter mixed in there at all. If any, it's on the top, and then you don't get any glitter whatsoever when you know, start getting into the pan. This one has a nice matte base for sure, and the glitter shows up pretty decent. It's not the best, but it definitely is not the worst, and it works for what it's there for. So as a shimmer, it works as a shimmer pretty well. So I like it. It's pretty good. I do wish that, you know, they wouldn't have just added one shimmer in here. I know that they have a lot of foils and stuff, and that's pretty shimmery to most people. And then they've got the 2 glitter pans. But if you're gonna put some shimmers in there, at least, you know, like they did the glitter pan, at least do 2. You know, like just have one random shimmer in there. But yeah, it's pretty nice, and it's got such a wide range, you know, for everybody. It's got enough colors, you know, enough shades that are darker for, you know, people with a lighter complexion like me, that the light shades are not really going to show up very well on me. And then they've got the, you know, the light shades and stuff that are, sorry, my piercing is like, it looks like it's off, but it's not. It's just the jewelry. I get distracted really easily, you guys. So it's like making everything go like weird with the jewelry sticking out a little extra more than this one. So I'm thinking maybe I'll put this one over here and this one over there. But But yeah, so and then they've got the lighter shades that'll look absolutely gorgeous on a darker complexion, and they'll show up way better on a darker complexion than it would on me. Jealous I am, because there's just sometimes I would love to do a pastel look, and it just does not work for me very well. I'm too pale to do like pastel looks very well. I have to end up doing like darker pinks, and then it's just not pastel anymore. So kind of bummer for me, but that's okay. Not everything looks good on everybody. But yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous palette. I had gotten it on when they had a sale. I'm not sure if it's still up on their site for sale right now, but it was just recently that it was up there, and I think it was like 21, 22 bucks. I think, I'm pretty sure. But definitely worth that price. I know that normally I'm pretty sure it's like 40 something, and like before they put it back up on the site for the sale, they didn't even have it on the site anymore, and I saw it going on other websites where people were reselling and everything for like $60 and stuff, and I'm like, that's awful. I can't pay that. Like, it's a very great palette, but I can't pay that. So I think the 20 some odd is a steal for this palette. It's giant and it's beautiful. It's not crap quality, it's not the absolute best quality in the world, but it's up there pretty good, for its price range. It's up there. I've tried some really bad quality palettes, and I've tried some absolutely amazing quality palettes, and that's definitely in the upper middle, like up there pretty good. So I do think that palette's pretty worth it. Like, I know that's the past couple of palettes, I'm like, yeah, these are definitely, worth the price for sure. They're good palettes. We will eventually get to some palettes that are very bad, like that I tried and they're just not working for me, and everything. We will get to some eventually, but I wanted to try out, start with some really fun palettes that I enjoyed, for the most part, or with this one that I just got in. So I will probably end up doing, all that kind of stuff first before we get into old palettes that I've had for a while, and just they didn't work for me or something, or I just don't use them as much because they're not up there, so we are probably, other than anything that's brand new that just happens to not work for me, we probably will be doing for a good couple of months more of the palettes that I enjoy more first. Again, like, unless I do one of the palettes that I get in anytime soon, just doesn't do it for me. I'll be reviewing it as soon as the week that I get it in. But, who knows at that point if it's going to be a good palette or not, which is all the more fun. But yeah, I like to try and keep these fairly unbiased and balanced. Try and list off some good parts and some bad parts. I'm sure in the future there'll probably be a horrible palette where there's not really much good in it, but or get a really amazing palette where there's not much bad, but there's always something good and something bad, that I can think of, even if it's just a prize point or something like that, but still, I like to try and keep it a little unbiased, as best I can, even if it's palette that coming from a company that I really enjoy. I'm still going to give it a really honest review, because again, I'm not being paid for these. I'm not being sent these for free by the company anyway. Like, I do win some of these palettes that I'll be, swatching and reviewing. I do win some of them in challenges and giveaways and stuff. In some Facebook groups that I'm in. One of the main ones that I'm in is Makeup by Design. That is an amazing Facebook group. I love them. They do so many challenges, and I love doing them. Doing makeup challenges just helps me bring out my creativity and everything. I just adore them. And some of the prizes are absolutely amazing. I've seen like currently they got like a Pat McGrath palette up for one of the prizes, and ABH palette and stuff like that. So, sometimes they do some really amazing like challenge giveaways and stuff like that. So, so yeah, I do get some palettes for free, but it's not by the company. So I'm not, I don't feel any sort of pressured or obligated to like give it a good review. And even if a company did give it to me for free, I'm I'm just be like, unless you're paying me, I'm not going to give an unbiased review on it. So, and in which case, I'd be required to, tell people, hey, this company is paying me to do this. So, but yeah, so I try and do it as unbiased as possible. And like I said, I try and give a nice full, we've got primer and no primer over here, so you guys can see how they work. And you can tell there is a difference, and I tried to do, a foil. We got this glitter pan right here, and the mattes. So, and then we've got the little highlight, which you guys probably can't really, again, oh, you can kind of see it a little bit right there. And then you got the little topper right there. So I try and get everything covered. We didn't do the shimmer, but there's only one shimmer in this palette, so I wasn't really too worried about it. I guess I probably could have put a little bit on there, but but yeah, so I try and make a nice overall, like really rounded review of the palette, even with trying out the shades once we get to the tryout point, and then give a nice full, nice plus and minus type thing, where the good parts of the palette and bad parts of the palette, for me anyways, some people might not feel some of the bad parts or good parts are good or bad for them. So, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I know these usually take about an hour because we do everything. We swatch, we, do a look, and then we do a full, again, round review to recap on everything and stuff. So they are long lives, but I do plan to continue doing these every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys really enjoy them, because I really enjoy doing this, and I know, like, it's nice and raw. You don't get any weird filters or editing or anything with these. So it's kind of fun. It's a little nerve-wracking for me because I've got a breakout going right now, as you guys can see. But, I'm not about to cheat and put stuff all over my face, because that could mess with, what I'm trying to review. So I try and have a clear face when this goes on, other than the primer and no primer part. So I really hope you guys enjoy these. And if you do, you can subscribe or like the video and everything like that. So I'm trying to hit the 1K mark for the subscribers. So I would definitely enjoy any shares or likes or subscribers or anything like that. No obligation, obviously. I can't force anybody to subscribe to me. Plus I don't want forced subscribers anyways. I want people, to subscribe if they actually enjoy these videos and what I plan to put out, because, I'll have more than these again in the future. Once I get going again with the YouTube, I'll have some edited videos with some full on planned out makeup looks. I'll have, videos of my artwork, because I've already got some of those and stuff, behind the scenes stuff for shoots and everything. So I do plan to, continue with those videos that are edited and everything once I get back into the flow of a schedule with, YouTube stuff and everything like that. So I really hope you guys enjoy. I really enjoyed this. It was really fun. And as always, I'm really bad at saying goodbye, so I'm just going to have to rip that Band-Aid off. So bye.